leave before you worsen the situation.
Ruins are overgrown with corruption. You should burn it out before it spreads.
You're a child playing at being a hero. You understand none of the forces at work here.
The Circle of Archmagi has overstepped their authority. Again.
I don't know how to explain this any better. This is not a problem to solve with cannons or steel.
Ludwig. Guess you got tired of tormenting Heelguard.
Envoy, I hope you found what you were looking for. Because those ruins are about to be a distant memory. This is a spring from which the Dream Scourge flows, injecting poison into the veins of the island.
No, a cleansing fire. Poison or cure?
The same poison we burned out of Fur Messiverno. Stand by my side, and we can strike a blow at the Dream Scourge. And at Sapadal. An Inquisitor seeks answers, some through interrogation, others through prayer. I've been watching you, Envoy. You, who survived when so many godlike fell. I even asked the gods what made you so remarkable. And the Burned Queen opened my eyes to what you are. We knew the chaos of the living lands had an origin. How could I have known that you were its offspring? With good reason. Why should a tool know it's being used? There are two plagues in the living lands. Help me destroy one, and the other will follow.
Ashes. Nothing of the Akita will remain.
We may not burn out the Dream Scourge here, but we can burn out its symptoms and take the fight to your patron.
Spirits cry out, bury the fire, but still they rage.
Fighting a superior force is one thing, but fighting a god is another. Is she really suggesting that?
Always thinking with your sword. You zealots never change. I happen to like these ruins. They've been very informative. Without them, I'd never have learned there was a new god in the living lands.
Another reason why they should be destroyed. Sapadal is dangerous, but an archmage is more unpredictable by far.
I do love it when people choose to listen to reason. I have an alternate solution to the problem at hand.
This should be amusing.
I am not talking to you, am I? Don't interrupt me. Don't make me separate your skin from your muscle. I can sever the connection between the Adra in the ruins and the rest of the living lands. It will isolate the dream-scourged essence and halt the creation of new dream thralls in Shatterscarp. But those that exist will remain. My solution will end the plague in this region, I believe, and keep Ludwig from having to do terrible things to those nice ruins. I knew I liked you for a reason. Yes, there is a catch. It's also what you may call a large one. Severing the Adra will require the use of a truly immense amount of essence, which, well, will result in a few deaths.
A gentle sleep. One moment day, The next, a poppy's dream to carry them to the Garden of Night. They would feel no pain.
Well, in layman's terms, she's going to rip the essence out of a bunch of people in Shatterscarp. For what it's worth, her theory is sound. She could stop the Dream Scourge. In Shatterscarp, at least.
A few dozen people may die. Possibly 100 or so in the more dire scenarios.
What? This is your solution?
There is no control over who will perish in the process. But it will stop the Dream Scourge from spreading in Shatterscarp. No new Dream Thralls will be created.
Reingrim is one of the smartest people alive. If she says this is the way, it's hard to argue. No matter how much we might want to.
You can't be entertaining this. Not after what we've seen. The frozen corpses, the twisted riddles. The Dream Scourge is a tragedy, but she's a monster. You can't leave Thirdborn at her mercy.
It's not an ideal solution. But it is easier to save a life when you've amputated the necrotic limb, so to speak.
At least I'm not the only rational voice in this debate. She would sacrifice the very people we're trying to save, and for what? Not even to destroy the Dream Scourge. Merely to slow it down.
Destroying the ruins and killing the Dream Thralls within is also a short-term measure. Ludwig's solution will eventually result in the same number of casualties, possibly even more. I do, actually. So long as the Dream Scourge exists, more people will become infected. And the infected will take more lives, and this will continue indefinitely.
She has no idea what the consequences of her actions might be. And neither do you. Envoy, I want to show you something. I swore an oath to my goddess. A solemn vow that I would give everything in service to her. Even myself. And I did so, gladly. Sapadal wants the same devotion from you. The only difference is, you never had a choice. The mask is my true face, my covenant with my goddess. The obligation I chose. Imagine it, Envoy. Was there ever a godlike who stood tall against their own creator? Envoy. We have an obligation to scour Sapadal from the living lands before they destroy us. Starting with these ruins. Whatever you do, make sure the decision is yours, not theirs. Sapadal will poison your judgment if you let them. You owe Sapadal nothing, and yet they demand everything. That is not devotion. It's cruel.
Yes, quite difficult to decide whether to believe your new god or the angry skeleton actively threatening us.
This isn't about Sapadal. This is about every man, woman, and child in Shatterscarp.
Godlike. I leave the choice to you. Both options will bring harm. The question is, which will bring more good? Perhaps not. But one of these solutions will bring an end to the matter in Shatterscarp. Remember the village and the statue it couldn't repair. Remember the lesson I tried to teach you. None of our lives matters. Not when they might cost us the future. Now choose, Envoy. Destroy the ruins and the Dream Thralls, but allow the plague to keep spreading. Or sever the Adra and end the plague in Shatterscarp, with an unknowable number of casualties.
She toys with you with innocent lives, while I offer only the truth.
Good people die either way. But severing the Adra shortens their suffering, I hope.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but Ludwig's right. I hate what the Dream Scourge has done to Thirdborn, but letting that Archmage snuff out even more lives is worse. Destroy the ruins, Envoy. Whatever comes next, at least it's something people can fight or flee.
Call it an experiment. To see if a mortal can think of futures beyond one's lifetime. And be less sentimental than the village about its statue. Also, I rather loathe the Inquisitor. She's far too used to getting her own way.
Ideological and self-absorbed. You hold a blade to the throat of my soldiers, but that's no excuse for wasting my time. Envoy, I hate to be in this position, but at least the choice is in endearing hands. So choose.
What? No!
I will honor your decision, even if I think you're a disappointment.
Your patron deity might object, but the living will thank us for it.
Burn, destroy, we twine.
Soldiers of the Steel Garrote, you heard her. Bring it down.
The Dream Thralls are no match for our might.
These ruins were hideous anyway.
Let the Steel Garrote show you how it's done.
You have destroyed a place of great power. A part of your heritage, no less. Now that I know a new god was the reason for those anomalies in Naku Kobel, there's nothing left for me in the living lands. Your decision may yet still kill thousands. We don't know the kind of casualties that will follow. But that is for you to wrestle with. I'm done here. However, I have one final question for your young wizard.
For... me?
You have shown a great deal of talent, Yatsley. Few can dispel my illusions so easily. I could use your assistance. And the companionship. It's really dreary being alone. Should you wish to return with me, I would happily take you on as my apprentice. The rest of the circle do not often visit, which is good because they're tiresome. You, however, are a power worth shaping. And rather delightful to boot.
Well, obviously, I'm... Wait. Really? You want me to... Wow. That would be... amazing! But I have to think about it. At the very least, the envoy would be lost without me. And so would my lover. Though the idea of finally devoting more time to magic is... tempting.
Yes, my work will still be there even when this world is in ruins. Which, hopefully, won't happen. Whatever you decide, it will be some months before I depart. You know where to find me. Be clever, godlike. Don't think too much with your heart.
Finally, those old ruins have a purpose.
Absolute
I'm sorry, but before anything else, I need a word with you. Of course, I understand the impulse of wanting to save those in Thirdborn.
You understand the impulse? Where's this going?
But think of all that we lost! Because of you and that monster! Again, I understand the impulse, Envoy. But you must think of future generations.
Did you really just say think of the children to justify killing?
I've heard enough. Even Ludwig wouldn't go that far.
Ludwig is a fool. Her brain has rotted away with the rest of her. We have no reason to believe that the Dream Scourge has been stopped, by the way. It certainly hasn't stopped Dream Scourge from appearing everywhere else in the Living Lands.
Then maybe we turn a few more of these ruins into heaps of rubble. I can't see anything good that's come out of them.
Maybe stop talking while you're ahead.
Years of lost history found, just in time to be erased by two Aedirn fools. I trust Reengrim more than Ludwig. Reengrim knows more about the Dream Scourge than the dead woman burning down homes.
I hate to say it, Yatsli, but we're not changing anyone's mind today. Let's talk later. Just the two of us.
Fine, fine. You're right. It's done. Let's just focus on getting to the garden. For the camp of an official Aedirn envoy, I was expecting a little more. A proper bed, at least. But I suppose this will do for now. As long as you have a bath, of course. Just as things could be worse, they could also be a lot better, envoy. But, as riveting as it is to complain about our accommodations, I imagine you have another topic in mind? I'm the only buyer you'll find here, and I already have the jar. A lesson for next time, darling. It's always worth some haggling. Unfortunately, it's been quite some time since I've met another who focused on the godless as I do. And I imagine I'd be more knowledgeable on the subject than anyone else you could find. I've yet to be burned in a single flame trap, and I don't intend to start anytime soon. Fair guess, though. When I got my first grimoire as a child, I was trying out some of the fancy new spells I'd been given. I was attempting a simple illusion spell, but I must have slurred my words. The next thing I know, everything was on fire. No! Well, me, obviously, but otherwise, no. What is childhood but for silly things? When else can you get away with arson? My father was able to pull me from the flames as my mother doused them. I burned myself badly enough to give myself some vivid dreams, but the house still stood at the end. Of course. Now I only burn those that deserve it, like mosquitoes and university administrators. The only lasting damage was my burn mark and the dreams. Usually I enjoy a bit of pain, but this was a bit too much. I wouldn't recommend it. As delightful as you are, we've much to do and less time to do it in. Shall we go?
Never thought I'd be going back to...
Envoy, we need to discuss what you did in the ruins. You destroyed something that was... I'm trying to remain calm. I have to remember that you had a reason for what you did. Nothing infuriates me more than to do what Ludwig wants, but... I'm not unhappy with what you did. Those ruins were literally priceless. They had real Echidans in there. Think of how far my research would have shot forward. But we would have had to sacrifice so many for it. And I can't say that's a fair trade. Usually I know the right answer. It's obvious. Here, though... Of course, because a common reaction to being set upon by dream thralls is to placate another monster.
Leaving your home behind isn't easy. It's for the best sometimes, but it's never easy.
All right. I understand. I'm sorry, Envoy. This is my life's work. And that skeletal maniac attacked my home. I'm just a little more raw than I thought. It's all right. I think you've earned a bit of trust from me. Things have been... unreal. We spoke to actual ancient Echidans in the ruins. I was able to ask questions and get answers. Of course. Though I sense that you're not fully aware of just how amazing this all is, so... I'll let you wait back at the camp, like a good little girl. But to go through the trials ourselves? Oh, could we be any luckier? Fascinating. I can't imagine what it was like to grow up a godlike with no god. I'm glad you got answers, sweetheart. Well, I have to start writing this all down before I forget. But do return if you think of any other juicy details. Sweet dreams, envoy. How does one become a scout?
What? You looking... looking to pick up the craft?
Oh, no. Unfortunately.
Can we talk a moment? I wanted to pick your brain about Shatterscarp. The ruins of Naku Kubel predate civilization as we know it. We had so much to learn from them. But the Steel Garrote care nothing for the past. Only the future, as long as it's under their thumb. I'm not saying it was an easy decision, or that you should have acted differently. The fact remains that we played into our enemy's hands, and what did we get in return? We delayed the inevitable. Better than nothing, I suppose, though not by much. To cut the Dream Scourge off at the root, and stop it from spreading misery. Perhaps I'm being impatient. Maybe there's no right answer to any of this. Maybe all we can do is keep going, leaving chaos in our wake. I just wish the world and its problems would leave us alone. Even for a moment. Give us time to focus on our mission. Ourselves. No, I haven't. And yes, I should know better. A good night's rest would fix my head, but can't fix the world we live in. Maybe it's fine if they're both broken. While I have your ear, can I ask you one more question? Something about Inquisitor Ludwig has been getting to me. She seemed eager to distinguish your Aedirn loyalty from your nature as a godlike, as though the two are incompatible. She believes you can be loyal to your country or to your nature, but not both. Do you find that unusual? To be sure. It's just... When you agreed to destroy the ruins, Ludwig was surprised, as though she didn't believe you would do the right thing. Ludwig clearly respects you, but I don't believe she trusts you. Anyway, that just had me thinking. Could be nothing, or could be something. Time will tell. Get some rest. You deserve a nap. For that matter, so do I. What are you so curious about? Thanks for talking.
So, we found a map to the garden. Now we see how accurate those ancient godless cartographers could possibly be. Not sure how helpful that map will be, really. There's probably a reason no one's been to the garden in centuries. We'll see. We don't know what's really there, other than your secret god friend. I figure either it's a complete dud and there's nothing really there, or we all lose our minds the second we show up. Either way, was it worth it? Who knows? I get it, those visions, or whatever you're having, must be really disturbing. But how do you know they won't just get worse? I guess that's not my problem, really. My job is to keep you alive, whether you've got a god in your head or not. Just don't do anything stupid, all right? Anyway. Thanks for talking.
could they? Beloved that you are, and still they bared their fangs. We blessed the Tabaru Sinakis, and they prick us in return. Blood on the wire. Roots like a wall. We only meant to protect. We thrashed against the blinding light to keep the Akita safe. We never wanted this. So many seedlings lost. We grieved, but we saved many. The burned queen. She hurt us, hurt our people. She did this. Yet still the branches swipe. We mourn, we could not be to blame. They should have shared our love. Their spite? This we could not foresee. But you are here. A green shoot after the fire. You would not raise your hand against us. Words like bile. This is not our way. Sleep now. Dream of golden poppies on the road ahead.
Well, the walls are still standing. Let's see who's still on their feet.
Who needs fabric? We still have stock.
You there, the one with the face. Perhaps I could entice you with riches in return for a simple favor?
The ruins? What happened? I heard them fall to rubble. It comes, it sings, it dreams. Of war and blood and smoke and... Did you have a hand, Envoy? You and your Inquisitor destroyed hundreds of years of history and time, and silver lights flashing bright. Ruins break into bones, they do. They make a necklace, a collar of time. We choke and die. I'm sorry, I think I need a moment. Smoke and rhyme, we are losing time.
I think she's already slipping away from us. We've got to stop this plague, Envoy.
Leave for the silver and the root and the song. Go now. Go far. Yes, leave.
A butterfly emerges, a dream of peace.
Oh, there she is. Come on, Chico. You can do this.
Watch your back out here, traveler.
While that parting is probably the closest Ludwig gets to friendly, I'm not looking forward to our paths crossing again.
Frankly, I'll take any opportunity we get to ruin Ludwig's day.
I'll say this much for the Inquisitor. She's stubborn, like a rat. And we gave her everything she wanted.
I'd say we shouldn't stay on her bad side, but I'm not sure she has any other sides.
You know her better than any of us. What's your read? My vote's on a pack of small, enthusiastic dogs. Wait, was that an if?
Well, the joke's on her in any case. Ludwig won't get very far without that map. She'll be scratching her skull.
Somehow, I don't think she'll let that stop her for long.
And Ludwig definitely strikes me as someone who doesn't leave food on her plate.
I believe it. And we'll cross that bridge with you when we get to it.
Ludwig and her steel garrote have the numbers and the power. But we have spunk and a map. And that might just be enough to find the garden before she does.
We're all competing for the same thing. A place we barely understand, with no guarantees of what we'll find there. Still, I am determined to reach the garden, above all else.
Ugh, that's just a pile of Sokka. Generally, debatable, but about the garden, definitely. You won't find a blessed thing. This wild beetle chase of yours is a page-raku waste of time. To get to the garden, you have to go through Galawain's tusks. The land is made of lava and acid. It wants to eat you alive.
So it's tough odds. We've gotten this far together.
Tough odds is an extra Zarb jumping in at the last minute. This is a long trek. On foot, through a land that can barely support life. I don't have to be a Blessed Oracle to know this won't go how you think it will. And all your clues come from one source. You've been following a voice in your head. What do you know about Sapadal? How do you know you can trust them?
I hate to be the voice of reason, but we are talking about a god. There are limits to what we can even comprehend.
I have a powerful connection to my Blessed flute, but I'm not about to take orders from it.
What's on your mind, Marius? What bothers you so?
Because I can scream until I'm blue in the face, and you people would still rather trust the Envoy's pet headache demon. And now you want to drag us through the deadliest region in the world because a sleeping god said so. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm done here. Do whatever blessed planning you want to do. You don't need me for that.
Let's just take a breath, Marius. You don't mean that.
Nope. I said what I said. Come get me when it's time to go.
Poor Marius. Some things really rattled him.
I've never seen Marius like this. Something's going on with him, but I don't know what.
Be gentle with him. Or if not gentle, understanding.
Well, hopefully Marius will be okay soon. We have to get going if we want to get to the garden before Ludwig.
We won't get far unless we look after each other. Now's your chance.
I know what you're gonna say. Marius, I'm tired of your blessed day attitude. Get over it. Well, you know what? So am I. So just let me be alone for a bit. I will. Count on that.